Gav reckons we're coming for his job. I don't know what he's on about.
What time do you call this?
Everyone's been involved in making sure that everybody knows what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how they need to do it.
What I've achieved so far today is...
Still have something to show.
So I just thought I'd give you a quick walk around of what we've actually been trying to achieve for the last few weeks.
What's going on this week?
Annoyingly, we cannot get it completed today.
Here we have the completed leg for conveyor 8.
Speaking of our apprenticeship video, we've been featured in our local newspaper.
We're fairly confident this is what's going to beat site theft.
Gav reckons we're coming for his job. I don't know what he's on about. I'm Archie, this is Spitfire Engineering's 48th episode. We've got the Manchester Project framework being painted and ready for collection. We've got the Manchester Project picking line ready to be fabricated. We've got many more other little projects in the workshop being completed. So the site bank is all done. This is what's going off to a customer this morning.
What time do you call this?
I think we've left them in there all weekend. Yeah, this one's off to a customer this morning. Very local site actually, so that is good. It's coming and being collected on an electric truck. First carbon neutral site in the country, I believe. So, yeah.
So the site bank is now finished. As Archie just said, this is going out in a minute. So I just thought I'd give you a quick walk around of what we've actually been trying to achieve for the last few weeks. This has taken a little while to come together. As always, the first one does. But I'm just going to show you the features now of how it all works and how we've come to this position. So, site bank, site security is a massive thing here in the UK. Lots of stuff gets nicked off of building sites. So we've decided to come up with a more robust solution than a normal Sealand container, which is what a lot of people use. Now obviously this isn't as big as a Sealand container, but this is designed to put all your valuable stuff in it. Not just everything, just all your valuable stuff. All your generators, your whacker plates, your drills, everything like that is all going to go in here. And what we've got inside is we've got some shelves inside. 3 shelves both sides. And these shelves, if you wanted to, could come out quite easy, so that if you wanted to put something a bit bigger in there, you could do. Now the door shuts across this way, and that slams locked. And then what we've got inside is some barrel locks that go inside here. Just open it back up and show you them. So when the door comes across, we've got 2 barrel locks like this that go inside there and push in, and that's what actually locks it. Now the door, the walls, the roof, the floor, everything is double skinned, got concrete inside. So if you wanted to cut through here, you'd have to cut through here, you'd have to cut through concrete, then there's another skin inside, there's some fibres, there's some mesh and everything inside the concrete, so it's actually quite difficult to break into. So we're double skinned all the way around. Now in all 4 corners we've got these lifting eyes here, so the only way that you can actually move this is actually by lifting it from above. There's no forklift pockets or anywhere that you can actually get underneath it or anything like that. So the idea is that these get taken out on site. There's a pin inside that holds them in. You take these out, you put them in from the other side so it blocks the hole off. So there's nowhere where you can actually lift it from unless you use the proper lifting devices. Now, this thing weighs about 3.2 tons. So if anybody thinks they're going to shove it over or move it around, you can't because it's heavy. And also the floor's concrete lined as well, so it's not like that's the weakest part either. This has also got an electrical supply here, so you can connect this to the electrical supply on site. And inside here, you've got some 3-pin plugs for some battery chargers. So if you've got cordless battery power tools, you can actually recharge overnight in here the batteries. The site where this particular one's going is a carbon neutral site, as Archie's already said. So this is going to be charged using solar panels to generate power to then charge the power tools. So as we come round, we're solid all the way round. Full of concrete, solid all the way round. The roof is flat. We've got a couple of vents up here because obviously we're charging batteries potentially inside. So we've put a couple of vents in there so that if there is some gases come off from the batteries that are being charged, and also to eliminate any condensation in the winter, we've got a couple of vents in there. The roof is flat and watertight as well. That's also double skinned as well. So yeah, we're fairly confident this is what's going to beat site theft.
Okay, so we have just delivered the first site bank to MV Kelly's carbon neutral site here in Northamptonshire. Their contact has been working with us since Gavin designed this really. He was the first person to see the design in principle and was over the moon with it because he obviously knew that they were planning this carbon neutral site, and the site bank allows them to be able to store electrical power tools safely for using obviously electrical tools on site as opposed to running up massive generators. So yeah, we're really pleased to be working in partnership with MV Kelly's. The site is hiring these because these are for sale or hire, and they're hiring this one for 8 weeks at the start, and then we're going to go from there. So we will come back when it's properly in position, because this is just its delivery position. You see it's still got its lifting eyes and things like that on the site bank. But when it's fully in position with the rest of their carbon neutral equipment, we're going to come back and film it again.
Nice, so we've just had the startup meeting for the Manchester project frame installation. So myself, Jamie, Gavin, Lauren, Rob and Andy, we've all had the sort of startup. It's predominantly including the transport, the assembly on site, and then the QC part of it. So everyone's been involved in making sure that everybody knows what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how they need to do it. So the order that everything needs to be loaded onto lorries, the order of which lorry needs to go when, the order of how we need to assemble everything on site, and then how it needs to be QC'd so that we are 100% happy with when we leave site. So this is the Manchester project walkways and a load of the frameworks. So these are a lot of the legs and the cross beams ready for collection. So they've been cut, drilled, welded, prepped, painted, and then placed out here on these timbers. All the walkways, again, cut, prepped, painted, welded, all that malarkey, ready for collection. So as soon as the rest of the beams are done, the collection trucks will be here. We'll get that loaded up, get it sent to site, ready for when we're there. So we don't want to send it up on the same day we're going up. It will just be too much chaos to organise in terms of timings. So it's getting up there on site before we are. And we're sending a team of 3 down to install all of this. So that'll be an interesting install. So the workshop is pretty messy at the minute, but that is because we've had a lot of stuff coming in and out. We've got the legs for conveyor 6 for the Manchester project being fabricated here by Connor. He's currently next door with Rob helping fold for conveyor 7 and 8. As soon as some more of this framework is out, once Connor and Rob are free, we're going to have a proper reorganiser here, set out the welding bays again, just how we need it, so we can crack on again with a bit more of the Manchester project. So conveyor 7 and 8, as I said, are being folded now. Steve is finishing off the vibrating feeder next door. So a lot of it will be coming together early this week, ready for paint. So Steve is now tacking up some bits for the vibrating feeder, just some extra gusset plates. That's near enough done now, so there's quite a bit of work involved with the framework and the main deck itself. There's no meshes in it, so where we normally have our shaker screens with the meshes just to vibrate anything of the smaller size down through, this isn't. It's just to sort of distribute the whole of the material across the width of the bed, which creates a lot easier process for the tomras that are coming after it. Not really a lot to say about this. With some more clips is being painted later on in the episode, hopefully. Yeah, nice work.
Here we have conveyor 7, sides folded. Still have a few little bits left to do, so I'll do them, and then I believe I'm going to be folding conveyor 8 after this. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's it, that's my update.
So this is more of the framework for the Manchester project. So Andy is currently getting it prepped, ready for paint now. So that should involve wiping it down, giving it a bit of a key so we can get the primer coat on. So the primer and then the top coat for these. Yeah, so these are going the same grey as the rest of the framework outside. So that is Andy's entire paint room done. These are the last 2 beams to come out, the largest of all of the beams for the project. So as soon as these are out, we're going to load up the paint room, get another full paint room in. We've got some more cross braces, some more cross beams, some more legs, and then I think that's about it, to be honest, for the framework. And that is being collected as soon as possible, I do believe. So yeah, so we're currently outside the spray shop at the minute. We've got Andy in there currently painting the last of the Manchester project beams. So the last bits of framework are going to be coming out of there first thing tomorrow morning, ready for collection. So the customer are arranging all of the logistics themselves, so all the transport from us loading it to being offloaded at their site, they are arranging. So anytime from tomorrow onwards, this can be collected. So yeah, we'll have a look.
So, as you can see next to me, I have the conveyor sections that I previously folded in the video. What I'm doing to these is just fabricating them, and then they'll be dry fit together. So in the fabrication process, put the ends in on these sections. Not all the sections are the same, some have different ends, just to accommodate different parts. And I'll pull it down there, there's parts that I need. So yeah, and I'm sure Adam will get a time lapse of me doing this today. Okay, so on this pallet in front of me we have almost all of conveyor 8 welded and ready to be dry assembled. I've just got a couple of bits left behind me, one on the pallet on the other side of my bench and one on the bench to finish fabricating. So once they're done, I'm assuming these are going to be put together. I say they're going to be dry assembled, I don't know. And then I'll start making the legs for it.
I am working on the pick and line frame. At the minute up here, I have legs A, 2 of them. These are where it attaches to the other parts, hence these. They're pretty simple, just 2 plates at the end and some mag drilled holes here, which you can see right about there. That's what I'm making. Then I'll make your other legs, then your beams next. Yeah, should be a rest of the day on this, something like that, and then yeah, get out of the workshop. Sweet, so these are all the legs fabricators. You've got your A's and you've got your B's. These A's sit against a wall, hence this plate here. The B's are a bit more simple because they're obviously not these, but they're practically the same. And then back here, if you come with me, you've got 2 of your cross members. I'm yet to fabricate the other 2 because I have other jobs to do. That will be done probably tomorrow morning, which you'll potentially see in a time lapse. If not, I'm sure you'll see at the end project. Yeah, just a bit of mag drilling, bit of welding, not really too strenuous.
What I've achieved so far today is I have the conveyor sections finished, which is down there in the workshop on a pallet, or further down the workshop. I'm currently in the process of building the final leg. The other 2 have been made and moved. Don't know where to, probably paint shop or somewhere near the paint shop. So yeah, I've just got to make a top piece for this that comes up on an angle and then gets skinnier. If you look at the drawings here, you can see the profile of what the legs are supposed to be. So I've made that bit so far. I'm just going to make this bit up on the bench, tack it together, and then light it all out and see how it fits. So, here we have the completed leg for conveyor 8 in its entirety. Bit of a pig to weld on the bench, I'm not going to lie, because you have to flip it round and do all sorts of wacky movements, clamp it down. But it's done, it's ready for paint. And yeah, moving on to something new now.
So this is the frame for the vibrating tipping feeder for the Manchester project. Steve has fabricated this, it's ready for paint now, so it's just outside the paint room, ready to be painted. So on here, it's got adjustment at the back that adjusts to pivot from these 2 front points here. These have grease nipples, they're obviously greased up every so many hours. This is just so that the customer has adjustment on how fast the feed is into their next machine. So this is one of the Trommel optical sorters, I believe, after this. Once that has sort of fed into, once we've worked out how fast they want it feed into there, we can adjust so that it changes the angle. This is the frame that this main tipping body sits on. We've got 12mm worth of steel here, so we've got a folded plate that sits on top of a flat plate. The folded plate is in a slight V shape, so that distributes all of the material evenly across the whole width, as opposed to just getting the 600 or 800mm, however wide the feed conveyor onto this is, which we're also making, just solid. So it spreads it out nice and evenly, wears evenly across the whole board, and feeds onto the next machine, making it easier for the Trommel to process it.
So today I'm working on the picking line walkway frame. So I've got my drawings on the stand there, but I've got the longest part of the walkway here, ground down, ready to be welded, and then over against the wall over there. I've cleaned up some stuff, so I'm going to get all this ready now, flip these beams up on their side, put some plates underneath so I can get the ends stacked up, and then yeah, it'll just be a case of welding it all together, putting all the kick plates and stuff on, and then it's ready to go. Since you saw last, this frame was in pieces. It's now fully welded together, and I'm starting to get the kick plates and stuff on. I've drilled some holes in it. There's some plates here that determine where the outcropping of walkway is. So I put them on, so I've put my kick plate up to it. And then next job is, there's the line marked all the way around. That's the height of the kick plate, where it's got to be welded like up to. So yeah, just getting the kick plates on, get them tacked on for now, get them square, and then weld them. And then I can work on these little outcropping bits.
So this is all of the Manchester project framework. So we've got all of the uprights, the cross beams, the walkways, all the platforms here, ready for trucks to collect. Yeah, there's a lot of steel here. So as soon as this goes, it will free up a great amount of our yard space again for us to put our own little machines in.
Okay, what's going on this week? We are busy. Gavin and I are going away next week for a short break away to Spain, and so there's a lot going on to make sure that everything's teed up and ready for that. We've also got Lauren away the same week, not in the same place, contrary to what somebody in the workshop thought. We were all going on holiday together. So yeah, lots going on and lots to prep for. When we do go away, we always know the team of really bossing it though, so they're really great when we're away. They're really great when we're here as well, but they're really great when we're away. So yeah, lots of prep going on for that. And then, as we've mentioned before, we've got Georgina and Alicia starting on Monday the 12th, and we're all really, really excited to have them join the team.
If you're watching this fresh as it's been released, you may have noticed there was a special episode last Wednesday all about apprenticeships. Did you see it? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. It was a bit different to what we normally do, a bit different to our weekly videos, but we actually really enjoyed making it. So leave some comments, tell us what you think about that, and if you think we should do some similar style videos as specials like that in the future.
Speaking of our apprenticeship video, we've been featured in our local newspaper. So we've got a picture of myself, Gavin, and then Adam filming Gavin and the CEO of Northampton College, Jason Lancaster. So we've got a very nice feature. We didn't know that it was going in the newspaper, so it's a very, very nice surprise to see that there. If you want a copy, it's Thursday the 1st of May, 2025. Yeah, we've got a few copies. I think we're going to get one framed and put it up in the office with our magazine page as well. So yeah, it's a very nice feature. Thank you.
Hi. So this week, I've not got lots to show you. I've got a couple of bits in the background what I'm doing, but it's all just sort of like picking up loose ends and trying to wrap up everything to get the last of the jobs out in the yard going, or things that we've needed to finish off and I'm sort of slowly getting there. So there's nothing major to show you, but I do have something to show you. So me and Gavin spoke about a couple of weeks ago about using the 3D printer to better ourselves as a company. Now, if you come over here, I'll show you something. So what we have here is some HGV brackets we've bought before for hinges and stuff. Now, they are very useful and very heavy duty, but what we use them for is probably not really necessary. It's only We're only even using them on doors that are made out of 1.6 or 2 mil steel, so it's not taking a lot of weight. But these are brilliant, but very pricey. Now, down here, I drew a somewhat equivalent for the 3D printer. Now, it didn't take me a lot of time, it's not took me a lot of effort, and I've used some basic measurements, if you will, because on stuff like this, I think the distance between there to there is no, it's more than that. It's 103 mil between those two holes, which is an odd number. So I've gone 100 just to make life easier for myself. And that's only a little thing. But when you're dealing with stuff like this, you have to get the information from the supplier and do it that way, and then I have to draw it and put it in the model. Going forward, if I'm going to 3D print stuff, I can draw it myself and I'll know it'll fit. Now, I checked all the specs on the 3D printer. These are pretty heavy duty. Now, I've already started. I'm ahead of the game. We're printing one as it goes. So, let's take a wander to the 3D printer and see what happens. So we're at the 3D printer. Now we've got one going on at the minute, like we just saw on the computer. Now, this is the first one we did. Now it's worked perfectly. However, the hole in the middle was, even though it was a 12mm hole, it's just a little bit too sloppy for what we're doing. You put that over weight, that will just naturally want to pull. And if it's going to crack anywhere, it will crack here. And like I said, these are heavy duty, so hopefully I can give that a bit of oomph. And that doesn't really want to go. There's a bit of noise in it, but I can't see any cracks. I think the plastic itself is just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit playful. So I made a second one. There's no sag in that whatsoever. That is one solid piece. And yet again, I ain't breaking that unless I really wanted to. So again, over steel that's holding 1.6 or 2mm doors, I think we've got the answer.
So I'm currently sat on some of the framework for the wash trommel. So George has shown you some bits of this previously. So this is some of the 100 by 100 RSJ and then some 100 by 100 by 5 box section. Stuart has been cutting this today. So Stuart, who's recently joined us, one of his first times properly on the bandsaw, so he's done really well getting all the angles and the measurements right. Yeah, it's all worked out really well, to be honest, so far. We're going to hopefully get this into the fabrication side of production very soon. Stay tuned to keep an eye out.
So Steve is about to start the folding for the wash trommel job. He's programming the brake press now. He's going to fold all his bits and then start some frames this afternoon.
So Steve has finished folding for the first part of the wash trommel project. So we've got all of the wheel mount parts here. We're going to fabricate as many of the small parts as we can first. These are a lot easier to stack on pallets, put to the side of the workshop, wherever we need to, as opposed to building a big frame up and leaving that big frame sort of in the way. So we're going to prioritise all these small fabrications, and then the framework will come in, get all that fabricated, test it, and then as that's bolted, we can tuck it to the side or put it on pallets. So it's still taking up more space than we'd like. So we'll try and leave that as far back as we can. So the next step after this will be the framework. So these are part of our new design for the new trommel designs. Yeah, they're proving to be a little bit awkward, to be honest. There's some of the folds we couldn't get on our brake press. So we've worked around that as fabricators. That's part of our job, to work out what we can and can't do and come up with a solution. So Steve has found the solution and he's worked it out. So that is now sorted. We know for the future what we can and can't do a bit more for when George is designing stuff. So yeah, wheel mounts fabricated by the end of the day. So I'm currently stood in what's going to be the new stores room. Stuart is currently assembling the vegetable conveyor. So this is very similar to the 17 pallet conveyors that went out the other day. Exact same chain, we're doing the exact same bodies, pretty much the exact same guarding as well. So these are great, they're very modular. So these already come with bolt holes at each end. So this is just a singular unit. But if the company do ever decide that they want to go and grow more, we can provide them with more conveyors. Complete system, just fit straight on. Yeah, I believe there's a bit of a time lapse going on right now, so I'll leave you to watch that. So these are the vegetable conveyors nearly assembled now. We are waiting on one of the rollers, so annoyingly we cannot get this completed today, but Stuart has got the chains on all of these slave rollers. So we call these a slave. They follow the drive roller, which will be here. That powers all of the others. So one drive and then 5 slaves, all connected up with these chains. So these are sort of all offset, they all connect up to each other. So one motion pulls all of them at the exact same speed. Again, using our new tool to join these chains up, cutting and joining. Yeah, not a lot really to do else on these until the head roller arrives, which hopefully shouldn't be too long. Where I'm currently stood is where a container was about a few hours ago. So Jamie is currently on his way up to the site for the container project. There's some electrics that need to be done on site today, hence why we can't get clips of it today. But yeah, nice big bit of space back in the front of the yard. It'd be nice to use this as sort of finished part or part way through storage. So the Ecohog project is pretty much done. We need to get this conveyor off and then paint these brackets at the same time. This is just going to be stood underneath and secured down for transport. One of our engineers, Jamie, he will be going to site with this just to sort of show the customer how it operates, how to track the belts, all those sort of bits and bobs. Yeah, it's been a pretty decent project, to be honest. Be glad to see it gone though. It's a big old lump of the yard. A load of space we'll get back, so yeah.
So this week's fun fact is on request by a viewer. So this is all about the Tay Bridge. Now, the original Tay Bridge was built in 1878, and the Tay Bridge is between Dundee and the other side of the water next to Dundee. Can't remember the name. Is it Fife? Can't remember. But anyway, this bridge was built in 1878, but there was a disaster in 1879. A train and all of its passengers, the bridge collapsed and they all ended up in the water. Now, it's a pretty big bridge, 3,450 metres long, so it obviously goes quite a distance across water, this does. But yeah, there was a disaster in 1879, and obviously wasn't very good for the person that designed it in the first place. The guy that originally built it was a guy called Sir Thomas Bosch, or Bosch, don't know. He was a Scottish civil engineer. But anyway, as you can imagine, if you design bridges that tend to fall into the water, you don't go very far in life. So after that disaster, there was a couple of other British engineers called William Henry Barlow and Sir John Fowler, who in 1887 completed the repairs to the bridge. Now, the bridge apparently weighs 25,000 tonnes of iron and steel. Not sure who adds all this up, whether they put it all over a weighbridge before they build the bridge, I don't know, but you see these figures, it's nice round numbers. I'm guessing it's an estimation. And when they actually rebuilt the bridge, they went from a single track to a double track. And looking at this, it only took a few years for them to actually repair the bridge. So they went from single track that was a bit shaky, that bad that it fell in the water, to a double track that's lasted over 100 years and he's better. Obviously the two people that got their act together and did the repairs was better than the first guy.
Thank you for watching this week's video. It's been quite fun making it, to be honest. If you could all like and subscribe, that would be amazing. And make sure you leave a comment. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. Pros, cons, whatever you think. As long as it's constructive, we love it. Thank you. Please can we get some Spitfire hats, Gavin? Because I can't see out here and this is affecting the filming. Thank you, Gavin. Yep, are you? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, Adam. How are you? Oi, oi, oi. Put your trousers up, mate.
What the f did I do that for? Start again. The door's open. You left the door open. Got distracted.
Something that has come off the back of this is we have ordered a brand new welder. So hopefully you can see Gav's new thing. That sounds really weird. I might get you a Secret Santa joggers with the belt loop. Sorry, didn't see you there. Busy reading our feature in the Chronicle and Echo. No, I won't do that.
It's a little way off. It's November the 19th, but it's going to be International Men's Day. And in this office, where there are 5 females going to be, and Gavin, he's insisted. So we're building up to it from now, which is the 30th of April.
I want a certificate as well.
He's going to get a badge and a certificate, and he's going to provide the cakes.
Cuddles.
And cuddles. No cuddles. HR! HR! Who wants cuddles?